it's the same thing as like thinking about the animals that you're eating. It just can kind of make you spiral in a sense.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
trigger warning if like this isn't
Oh
your
yeah.
vibe, like I get it.
We probably
Yeah.
should. I'm going to take this part and put it at the front of the video. Like trigger warning. We talk about some crazy shit in this video. Like,
Right.
are you about to tell me the lyrics are wrong? Like, what are you doing to me in this episode right now? Like,
This is why
my world
conspiracies
is
become
shattering here. Okay, the jellyfish are out to get me. My mushrooms are going to come alive and take over my brain. Like, I don't remember songs. Like, what is happening today?
Huh?
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Tired, but good.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
was stream? It looked like it went well.
It was so much fun. There was only one little hiccup, and I guess it's because I've never tried streaming Procreate on my iPad with this new screen mirroring thing. So it didn't work out quite right, but that's fine. I still showed it in Infinity and people seem to like it. So yeah,
Good.
it was
That's
fun.
exciting. That's
Oh,
awesome.
so what's up
Okay.
with you?
I got off. Today's like an off day for me. So I got some errands done this morning and then um yeah, I'm just chilling. We're gonna
Just
have a
chill.
pirate party tomorrow, which is
A
exciting.
pirate party?
We're gonna have a bunch
That's
of friends
fun.
over that are we're gonna dress up like pirates.
That's fun.
But my whole house is already Halloweened out, so it's gonna be more of like a
Oh,
Halloween party.
yeah, I've got this is my only Halloween decoration right now. It's like this little potion
Yeah.
jar that lights up that the hubby got me.
I saw it on one of your Instagram posts, I think.
Yeah. It's my only thing so far. I think I've got a couple things like left in the other room. I've got like a light up spider web. Maybe I should bring that in here. That
Ooh,
could be
so are you
fun.
a fall girly or a Halloween girly?
Oh, both. I mean, I love fall. I love fall. It's my favorite season. Like,
Yeah,
and this
that's
week
the
it
best
has
one.
felt like fall. Like, I don't know how weather's been for you, but it's been like maybe 80 during the day and like 50 at night. Like
Oh,
it's like
it's been,
huge different. It's been weird.
yeah, that's like really bipolar. It
It
has
really
been
is.
like wet, like it started raining all of a sudden. So it's just like that weather change here becomes
Yeah.
like it's no longer dry. I mean, people think here it's moist, like it's like a moisture thing, and I'm like, it is not. I'm from
It's just,
Florida, okay? Humidity is like,
it's just rain.
yeah. So here it's like actually now it's like getting that humidity is here because like the rain is coming.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean it got chilly the last 2 days or so. So, but like that's like 70, 70, 80,
Yeah.
which is weird because like
It's been like 50 at night,
that's
which is
crazy.
insane because it was like just
That is
last week,
weird.
it was like 90.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's
like
how it was here.
it's crazy. I think the high for today is like 82. And then tonight
Wow.
it's gonna be like 60. Like like that's
Wow.
like we're in the desert or something. Like huge temperature difference.
I
It's so
mean, no,
weird.
but like I think you're like far enough from the coast that like kind of makes sense, but I don't
It's
know. It
it's
that seems
annoying.
cold.
It's cold. It's like I'm wearing a long
Cold.
sleeve shirt. I'm like,
Same.
but I'm wearing like capri leggings and flip flops at the bottom half.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like
No, I'm
it's
wearing
confused.
shorts.
Everything's just
Shorts and a long
confused.
shirt.
Yeah.
I love this time though. I would because I'm like I'm ready to clean out my garage. I'm ready to put up all of my Halloween decorations outside.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting really excited for fall and just this time of year. Um,
Yeah.
but
It's my
yeah,
favorite
I'm
time.
super excited. Well, that's good. I'm happy stream went well. Well, our topic today gets a little spooky as we get into um spooky season. But I mean it's kind of like a hot topic right now. I don't know if you keep up with conspiracy theory news and whatnot, but the Mexican government just came out with like a remains of an alien species. Did you see this?
No, I did not see this.
Oh my
Like what?
gosh. Yep. Yep.
That's
Yeah, you need to
crazy.
Google it. Like it's insane. Like it's I mean to me because like I'm like one of those like ghost adventurers or like conspiracy theory like debunkers or like I love to like kind of believe in them, but then a part of me, like my rationale and my brain goes, well, that's just
That's
this. Like,
yeah,
what are we doing? Like, I like talk myself out of it in a
yeah.
sense. But yeah, so like the American government released that they do know of UFOs and whatnot, right? Which it has been a thing. Like it's been like we've all just
Yeah.
kind of like pretended like it wasn't a thing, I guess.
Because I mean, not
But
too long
that
ago, there
was
was
like
like a bunch of
unidentified.
there was like military footage that came out not too
Yeah,
long ago, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And it kind of like got slow released, but in a weird way, my brain's like, are they just doing this to distract us? Like, is this some big like
Distracting us
play?
from
Like,
something else. Like,
yeah,
is the
well, I mean,
conspiracy
Russia's still like
really a
in a
cover up
war,
for
and
another
we're here.
conspiracy? Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a rabbit hole, bro. It's a rabbit hole. So, yeah, so that was just kind of like the topic that I had for today was to talk about aliens and conspiracies. Cause I've got some, we can start off with some lighthearted ones. Cause I've got some like conspiracies that I think are just like real now. I was watching this YouTube
Oh.
video of someone that was literally like, these are just real things that exist, but people are like, that's a conspiracy. And it's like, no, they're real. Like that's just a real thing. Like,
It's like the
but have you
world
ever
is
noticed that?
flat, but you know.
Right. No, that's like deep governments lying to us conspiracy theory. Like that's not like women's pockets are smaller, so we buy purses. Like that's not a conspiracy theory. That's
That's
real.
that's real. Like, what is with the tiny pockets? Like,
I don't
or
know.
no pockets at all. We'll just like sew a
The
line here.
seam is just sewn. Like the seam is just there, but there isn't even an actual pocket.
It-
Yeah, I mean, like, are you a back? Oh, so like, this is my theory. Are you like a back pocket phone putter? Like, do you put your phone in your back pocket?
yes, I try. I mean, for the most part, yes. But I also have like this tiny little Victoria's Secret purse wallet thing that's got the
Yeah.
strap, that my
Yeah.
phone fits perfectly in there, as long as I
Yeah.
don't have anything else in there
Anything
going
else?
on. It's like, but
So
my
that's my
phone
thing is
is
that's
like
why fanny
huge.
packs. No, we're
So,
right. Yeah, I have the same one. Yeah, we have the same one. So
yeah,
it's like we have like iPad for a phone.
yeah.
But that's my thing is like fanny packs all of a sudden had like a resurgence. Did you not notice that like all of a sudden crossbody
I
fanny
just,
packs are like
it's a
in?
thing. It's a thing now.
But
And like,
why?
but why? I don't know. And then there's like weird shapes ones. Like, you got the typical fanny pack shape. And then, but now
Yes.
it's like, let's put a tiny circle across your boobs. Like, what? And then,
Yeah.
like, let's do this weird. And then, like,
And like there's
it's
the
just
triangle ones
awkward.
now. Anyways, but the thing is that like
Awkward.
that's to me like was just it's just a marketing thing. Like it's
Yeah.
not a conspiracy. That's just a marketing. Like when I went to
Yeah.
business school, like that was what we did is like we would analyze things that like a need and then like find something that fills that need, but then like convince you need it.
Oh, yeah.
And that like if you didn't have it, like you're gonna be like out, like you're not in anymore kind
Yeah.
of thing. Um but yeah, that one's definitely, but that ties into like the art field too. So like I have a huge conspiracy that like high-end art is just a money laundering scheme for like
Oh.
millionaires. Because think about it. Have you ever seen some of those pieces of art that like go for millions of dollars
And
and it's
it's
like
like,
one
what is
color?
that? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's just like
like,
one
like
color
a
or it's like a white
smear.
canvas. Yeah. And you're
Like,
like,
I mean, I love abstract art, but some of it's just
yeah.
like my dog could do that.
Yeah, this isn't,
Like,
this isn't Pollock abstract art. This isn't Dali abstract art. This is like a canvas that's the size of like a small wall.
yeah. And like someone threw a bucket of
So
paint
a
in
wall
it
of the canvas
and
must
then
cost like
yeah.
probably maybe like $100, $100 to like a $300 canvas that they paint one color
Yeah.
and they're like $80 million.
Yeah, there's something's fishy about that. Like,
That's so, yeah,
yeah. There's something
right. And
fishy
then like
about that.
fine art is like priceless, right? Like, I mean, like you can still kind of buy some of Dolly's like smaller pieces sometimes
Yeah.
in like small private collections, but like you'll buy. Oh, that was so weird.
That
Did
was
I
a little
just
bit.
change in sound?
Yeah, it was like a like I don't know, like a glitch in the matrix or something.
Yeah,
Just
that was
then.
weird. My camera was just like, hey, by the way, we're gonna use this other mic. I'm like, no, I want to use this mic. Anyways, um, yeah, that in mattress firms, like mattress like stores Have you ever noticed that mattress? Like, who goes to a store to buy a mattress? Like, have you ever in your life, like, bought more than one mattress?
Well, yes. Yes, we have. Because we had some really shitty ones. And then we got a good one. But then I
Right.
think we did get well, I mean, but yeah, we did actually go to a store. It wasn't like a mattress firm,
Okay.
but we did
But
go to
have
a
you noticed
store.
that there's like hundreds of mattress places, like hundreds
It's for the
in a
old
city? You
people
can like,
who won't go online. That's what it's for. It's for the old people. It's kind of
that
like
is probably
how,
what it is.
yeah, that's probably what it is. Like there's so many places where you can like order your food through apps, and then like
Right.
the older
Right.
generation like just
Like
refuses.
grocery stores only exist now for people who still want to like walk around a grocery
Yeah.
store.
It's like I'll be on the
No,
phone with my
Amazon's
mom,
taking
and
over.
yeah, she'll
Right.
like go through like the drive-through, and like they always ask, "Did you order through the app?" And she gets so irate. She cannot stand the apps. And it's like, what apps? All the apps. She can't
All of the apps. How
all the
dare you
apps.
ask
Like
me
you
if I
don't even
used an app to
like just any app. She's just like, "Oh, I hate the apps." And I'm like, "It what?" She
you gotta get with the
And
times,
then she always
man.
like she can relate it back to like something with her dad, and like he couldn't do something because it had to be done with the app, and he didn't know how to do an app because his phone didn't
Oh,
do
so she's
apps, and like
jaded.
she's
Oh, so she's
she's
jaded.
just
Yeah.
like she's angry about the
Oh,
apps.
excuse you.
She gets
Yeah,
so mad if
she's
she
just
goes through
jaded
like the
then.
McDonald's drive-through and they want to like offer her a discount by ordering through the app. She gets so angry, and I'm like, it's just
Yes.
an app. Just do it. You'll get a free hash brown or something. Like
Right. And
just
honestly, I heard
accept
the app's
it.
like really good. You get like a lot of free
You get
stuff
free
on the
stuff. I mean,
McDonald's
I
one.
haven't done it personally, but I've heard you get free
Same.
stuff.
I want free stuff. Who doesn't want free stuff?
Free stuff is great.
It's the same thing with the Cash app, the cash back like apps. Have you ever seen those? I'm
Oh,
like,
like the
how are
what is it, like
they money? How are
Rakuten or
they?
something like that?
Yeah.
Like
Like,
how
how
does
does
that
it get
work?
money?
Like
I
what?
don't know.
Who's
How do you
giving
just
the
give
money
someone
out?
cash back?
Like what?
I,
How I don't know. How's it work?
I get like credit card companies because they like have they have like a we want you to spend more money, so we'll just give you money like a percentage back because
Yeah.
the interest we'll get on it will, it's just
Yeah.
evening out,
Like that stuff makes sense, but it's like
Yeah, but like a regular app that like does it for gas, like I've been getting ads for it like crazy because gas just went up like really high here. I don't know if it went by you, but it just went up to like almost $4 by us. And we've been like
oh
under, yeah,
gosh,
yeah. And we've been
terrible.
like under for like probably under a $3.20 for like ever. And then so now I'm just getting all these ads for like, hey, join our
Maybe
like
that's the
app.
marketing thing you were talking about. Like the apps come out, like they raise the prices, so you'll get the apps, and then like
And then you'll just
it's
get
like all
marketed to, and you'll just
yeah.
get marketed to. And then
Hmm.
there's just like
Like, hey,
ads.
while
There's
you're in our
ads.
app, maybe you want this, and then you end up spending
Yeah.
$100 at some random store you've never heard of because the
Right.
app showed you
Right.
boots.
Right.
I don't know.
I feel like we're just these sheep, we're just like these,
Yeah.
they're just going like this with us. And we're like, oh, okay. And oh, all right. Like we're just following the herd of
Yeah.
like all this stuff. But that's my biggest thing with we're gonna get to the alien thing in a second, but like that's my thing right now is that like the trust is broken
Mm.
with like the American people and the government because we don't trust anything anymore. Have you noticed that like no one trusts anyone? We don't trust scientists, we don't trust
Yep.
government officials. Like I think everything right now,
It's
like
all the
the
lie.
way that they've been like
Everything.
but you're not gonna get, we're like we like I don't know if maybe maybe we could have an interview with a person who was alive during like Vietnam and all that where they definitely were not trusting or they just disagreed with the government so heavily, right? So they were like
Mm.
really a large percentage of people were very angry with the government, which I think is happening now as well. But it's almost like instead of us dealing with like serious stuff like war, like they were dealing with like, hey, we don't want to be there, we don't want to be doing this. They're like, oh, well, here's this UFO thing. Worry about this thing so that we don't worry about this
Really,
other really
yeah.
serious thing.
Like,
You know what I mean? Like
distract
they
you
just
with
have
this
learned how to
so you
distract
don't, yeah.
us. Yeah. It's like a small child. You're like, here's a toy. Go do this other thing. And we won't worry about the icicle or the candy or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're being treated like children.
I mean, that's a good theory.
It's real. It doesn't even feel like a theory. It just feels real. Like I just feel like,
Yeah.
and like maybe that's some big government, like, like the idea that the government like is deciding what to do with the people and blah 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 blah. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm just kind of, but I don't know. I guess I do believe that. I really do feel like the government's just distracting us and is just feeding us information that
Yeah,
like
it makes
we
sense.
need. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just seems so crazy because like the alien stuff just makes no sense. Like we've had science fiction for years, years.
Yeah.
That and AI. I mean, we're Americans, humans are idiots. We've had so much evidence of not to make AI
Oh
because
my
they're going to
God.
take over and kill us and make us into batteries
Make
for
us into
years. We've been, and we're like, let's just do it. Like we still, like we had all this movies, books, TV shows of just like, hey, AI eventually will hate
will take
humans
over.
and
Yeah.
decide
There's
and
been
take
so
over.
many
And we're
things
like,
about that. And now it's like,
with
hey,
so many,
like I don't know how many times I've done like a Google search recently, and then a
yeah,
little purple thing pops up at the bottom. It's like, do you want to try the AI search? I'm like, no. Like, what is this? It's like
it's
AI is
already taking over.
everywhere
It's
now.
like a slow takeover. It
Yeah,
was created and then now it's everywhere.
it's
It's
everywhere.
everywhere. It's everywhere
It's everywhere. It's
instantly
in my
because
Notion. Yeah, did you know it's in Notion now? You can do like there's an AI feature. Yeah.
I'm gonna go move to Costa Rica and just like grow my own food and like be done because I feel like we are like manifesting our own destiny of like the end of the world happening and we've been like slowly we're gonna be it's like a long con. Like it's gonna
Oh,
happen and we're
man.
just like being slowly convinced that it's not gonna be a big deal and it's gonna be fine. But
Yeah,
like it's only science fiction till it's not. You know what
that's
I mean?
true. That's very true.
And we're just like warning signs, who cares? It's like red flag, red flag, red, and we're just like
Yeah, just along for the
every
ride.
situation with it. Every situation with AI has gone terribly in any social media or any,
But let's put it
pop
everywhere now.
culture. We're just like, let's just do it. Let,
Do it.
wouldn't it be fun to just get AI and not let it take over the world? And it's like,
Oh my goodness.
what?
See, now I want to watch Terminator movies.
Yeah, we
Have like a
literally
marathon.
that movie encompasses the idea that coming back in time to try to stop the thing from happening only manifests it more that it is going to happen because you came back,
Oh my gosh. It's like,
right? Like I
yeah.
just am I losing my mind or am I the only one that's worried about like the
Oh.
fact that we're just like fuck it, let's do it. I don't know, man. But so then my other long con
Mhm.
conspiracy, how do you feel about mushrooms?
What kinds of mushrooms?
All of them.
Like what do you mean all of them?
All of them. They are the ultimate long con.
What?
They're convincing us to eat them. They're
Uh-huh.
convincing us we need them to help us with medicine and whatever. Like we've been eating them for years.
Uh-huh.
We they pop out of
I mean,
nowhere.
I have some in my fridge right now.
Yeah. Yeah. They've
Like
been convincing us. And then one day they're just going to be like, these humans got to go and we're going to be gone. What?
what?
Have you not seen the documentary about the mushrooms who can like manipulate ants to bring them food? And they have these little
What?
spores that control animals. Yeah, dude. Did you see The Last of Us? The show?
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh,
all based. That is all based on the idea that the mushrooms let out the spores that
am I gonna be
control
scared to
the
eat my
other animals.
portobellos now? Like what? Like I'm not gonna look at them
I
the
mean, maybe
same.
to me, it's just it's okay. So if you look at some of the
Like here I am
science,
thinking I was gonna put some in my eggs with my broccoli and it was
I
gonna be
mean, go right
great.
ahead.
And
First of all, do you know they're not vegan?
what do you mean
Did
they're
you
not
know that?
vegan? What do you mean they're not
They're
vegan?
not a plant and they're not an animal.
Well,
They're their own species.
Vegans too much. I can't. Vegans too much. Okay, vegans too much. Like I need my cheese. I need my eggs. Okay, vegans too much. It's too hard. Like I
You
could
eat
be a
nothing. You literally eat
vegetarian.
nothing. You eat, like
Like
nothing. And
no.
truthfully, plants are animal. Like to me in my brain, like plants grow, eat, and have relationships. They like procreate. Like they're plants are like still like
Okay.
a
You know
living
what?
thing.
No.
But
What?
fungus is its own category.
It is. It is.
It's tied to
And
nothing.
I like
It
eating mushrooms. So
has to
I
ruin it for
mean,
you.
I could go with
See?
like take the burger patty away, give me a giant portobello cap, and I am good.
So yeah. See, you'd be a good vegetarian
I
then.
could be a vegetarian. I could not be
Yeah.
vegan. Like,
No, no,
no,
not
vegan's
vegan.
too
Not
hard.
vegan.
It's too, there's
It
like
just makes no
too
sense.
much.
But
Like
it's like trendy to be it now, and I just don't get it.
it's too anytime I think about
Are
being
you a
vegan,
rabbit?
no, I think about like this chick that I went to college with, and like I remember
Yeah.
one time we were in studio, we were working, and like there was this we were on like this upper level at the factory. We had the studio space, and down below there was like this little deli restaurant thingamabob there, and we would go there for lunch a lot. So
Mhm.
she went and got like this salad, and then she brings it up there, and then she opens it and she almost just starts crying, and I'm like, what in the world is wrong? And she was vegan. I didn't know that at the time, but then
Oh,
like she couldn't eat her salad because there was like an egg in one corner of the container, and there was
oh,
like
right,
cheese on this side, and I'm like,
right. It's like
and
a
then
Cobb salad or
and so
something.
she's like taking like multiple utensils to pull out anything that has touched anything else, and it's like, and I'm like, that is too much. Like
Yeah,
I could easily be vegetarian. Like
right.
I could
Like red.
easily.
Like I don't need to eat meat,
Yeah, like I
like
could
a muscle of
easily.
another animal.
But
That'd be like eating
vegans
someone's
too
arm
hard.
muscle.
Vegans too hard. Oh, what? Ew, what? Oh,
See,
no.
that's the thing is that what that's I think that's what vegans do. They get in this mindset of like you're just eating someone else's like this muscle. Like you're eating animal flesh and that just like starts to freak them out and then they can't
It's freaking
undo
me out
it.
right now. It's freaking
Oh,
me
I'm sorry.
out right now.
Well,
Like
eggs are just periods. Think of that. It's an unfertilized egg, bro. And you're just eating it. You're
I've
like,
never heard
placenta.
anyone
Yum, 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 yum.
say eggs are just periods. Like
Yeah.
that is
How do you think we
the
get
weirdest
eggs?
thing. I
That's
that
exactly what
like
it is
it's just
for
weird.
that species.
That's weird. Like,
It is
but I
gross.
mean, I
So
could
like if you
totally
get
like
into the ice,
be vegetarian though. Like Kevin showed me this video one time, and
yeah.
it was like some I don't know fishing town in like I don't know Maine or
Oh,
someplace. I don't know
right,
someplace,
right.
and then like
Yeah.
they had this whole town was about like the fishing industry,
Yeah.
and they had created some kind of like machine at this factory where it was
Oh.
like it probably wasn't Maine, but it was like they had these giant crabs, okay? And then the
Huh.
crabs, like before the machine, the
Hmm.
people who worked in the factory had to like pull the legs off and like open the crab and like do all this stuff.
Right, right, right,
And
right, right,
then
right.
but they had this machine. They created this and like this little crab, so like not a little crab, but this crab
Yeah,
is
the
on a
crab.
conveyor belt, and then it gets
Right.
this tube thing, and then it like holds its legs, and this thing can chop. I started crying in the kitchen. Like I just started bawling my eyes out in the kitchen, and I'm like, this is terrible. Like it's like holding its little legs, and I just started crying in the kitchen. I was like, babe, turn it off right now. So yeah, I just, I
Worse is just
mean,
putting a lobster right into some boiling water,
oh
boiling
my
it
gosh,
alive.
I no, I've seen so many of those
I'm gonna
videos
like
where it's
make
like
you
trying to climb
vegetarian.
out while she's trying to cook it, and I'm like, you poor baby. Like, I mean, don't get me
You're just
wrong.
an animal lover, though. I get
I
it. You're an animal
am.
lover.
I mean, I'll eat some
Yeah.
chicken, but if I start
Yeah.
thinking too hard about it was a chicken, you know,
Yeah.
like
It was running around.
I
That
don't eat
some
it on
people
a
here,
bone. Like,
You don't
no,
have people here
no.
like by you that don't have just like I feel like by you there would be like farms of people who just like
Oh, yeah,
have
I've
pet chickens
raised
that they eat.
chickens. I've raised
Oh
chickens.
wow.
Like I did the
Yeah.
whole like 4-H thing where like they give you like 25 baby chickens and you got to raise
Yeah.
them up to the point to like then you
Yeah.
got to pick some out and take them to auction to like sell them at like I did that.
Yeah.
And I didn't have
You were
25 by
growing
the end of it.
food.
Uh, I could not eat my chickens. I could not eat my chickens. We had an incident one time where we came home
Yo,
from
you
church.
better start. What if the apocalypse happens? We're gonna need some chickens.
I'll eat some leaves. I don't know. Like we
Are
had
we
an
growing
incident
mushrooms?
with the mushrooms. We came home from church one night and like I heard something getting into my chickens. Didn't even think about it. I took off running for the barn. And
Could have
it
been
could
a
have
coyote.
been a coyote. It was like I think it was a skunk or something trying to get in there.
Oh, okay.
And it
Okay.
like it didn't get any of them, but
Uh-huh.
there was like one that in the process of like running from like the thing that was trying, it like broke its neck and like
Oh,
it got stuck and broke its neck. And so like it was so sad. And then my dad's like, well, we can't let it go to waste. We're gonna eat it for dinner. I
yeah.
cried the entire night. Like my family sitting around eating the chicken I raised from a baby, and I just bawled my eyes
Yeah.
out. And I was like, I'll have some
Yeah.
mac and cheese. Like it was so
Aw.
I no, I now want to go vegetarian. Like I'm gonna go vegetarian for October. It's gonna happen. I see it
Just do
right
a nice
now.
little cleanse. Just
I'm
do
pretty sure I
cleanse.
told my husband to buy me some turkey sausage the other day, but he's gonna eat it by himself. Like this is what
Well,
you've
some
done
food
to
you gotta
me
think about
today.
it. You gotta think about it as like if we were still like hunters and gatherers, like we would just be eating anything we could cook and eat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You gotta think about it as like survival. Like, yeah, I do think like you're right with like the machine thing,
Oh my
like
gosh, it's
that's kind of
traumatizing.
fucked. Like we don't need, we're not, I mean, we overindulge. The amount of food that's in this country makes me disgusted. Like in other countries, like it's not like this. Like
Oh yeah, you
those
don't get
crabs
a
would just be
dinner plate
served at a
that's like
market and you would
this
just buy
big.
your own. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there isn't grocery stores like they are here where there's just like plethora of food. And honestly, it makes me so sick how much food is just thrown away in our country too. And there's still like countries that like don't have food. It doesn't add up to me. It also seems like why do we need all the food? If Americans like cut their grocery stores in half, we would still have enough food to feed like everybody. And maybe some people would lose some weight. You know what I mean? Like, why do we need to have so much? Where like other countries have like
We're the country of
nothing.
so much. There's so much of it.
So
Everything is
much.
supersized.
Everything. I've been
Yeah.
just realizing like if I just get smaller and smaller plates and like smaller and smaller cups, like I didn't get the big Stanley. I got the little baby Stanley. I probably should have got the big Stanley because like I need a lot of
I have a
water. But
Stanley dupe now. Did I tell you that?
oh, did you?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not in here because I'm still on my coffee.
It's the best. Oh, I'm double fisting. I got both.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, so that's my conspiracy with the mushrooms. I am convinced that they were here first. They are the true species and we're the aliens. Like mushrooms were here, animals were here, and then all of a sudden an animal started eating mushrooms, like the Neanderthals started eating mushrooms, and that's what developed us. Because like think of a way that your brain expands. So that was like I was on the Joe Rogan podcast where he was talking about how when you eat certain mushrooms, like your brain like gets stimulated. That's why you can get a lot of hallucinations from some mushrooms and
Yeah.
stuff. Is that like your brain like opens up and like you have access to different parts of your brain without any other like it's just the way it is. It's like something that happens in our chemical part. I don't know, sciencey
Yeah.
shit. I don't know. Like we can get a
Science
scientist on here. I don't know. I am a disclaimer. I know nothing about science. But I know that there was early on like parts of us that they started eating a lot of our dietary was mushrooms and herbs and stuff that they if they couldn't find food.
Well, yeah,
Like they
because you
couldn't
can
find
just
meat.
forage, and
Right.
yeah.
Right. In a lot of places, almost everywhere on the planet has mushrooms. Think of that.
Wow.
Wow. Why does that make sense? There's not bananas everywhere. There's not tomatoes everywhere. There's not rice everywhere.
Well, when you put it like that, it's
There's
like,
mushrooms everywhere on the planet. I mean, maybe in some cold climates there aren't, but like almost everywhere that humans would be surviving without like, modern technology,
there's much.
there was mushrooms. And they pop up out of nowhere. They can grow in almost
Oh, yeah.
any
You know those big giant, like the snowball ones? We get those.
yeah,
Like I'll come outside sometimes and
they're just there, right?
I'm like, what is that way down there in the field? And then you walk over there and it's like a puffy mushroom the size of your head.
Right. And if you
And
don't
then you
touch
go
it,
on
there'll be like
YouTube and
10 of
like
them.
the chick is
Yeah.
turning them into steaks, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And like they'll pop out of nowhere. They'll grow. They grow super fast. They also they're like an asexual type of entity where they just can
Yeah.
like have babies. Like they could just like have more of them instantly, which is insane. There's also now a huge theory that the redwood forest is now connected with a mushroom undershrub
What?
of a hive mind of mushrooms where they're all connected.
Well,
Yeah.
now I'm like relating it back to that show. Like,
Because that show is based off science. Like that show, it is definitely fiction. Like the show is fiction.
right.
Like
I
that's
mean,
not how
like,
it's going to go down.
don't write a
The
research
mushrooms are
paper
just
on
going to
it,
eat us. Yeah, no, the mushrooms are just going to like all of a sudden we're just going to die. They're going to release spores. We're going to die. And then mushrooms can eat bone. Mushrooms can dissolve things as they eat them.
Mushrooms can eat bone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be hitting the Google so hard after this. Like,
It's
what?
a rabbit hole, bro. I mean,
It's crazy.
obviously,
There was
obviously there's
another movie that it was I cannot remember what it was. I think it was a movie, but it was like, like the people went crazy. There was some sort of mushroom
right,
like entity like
right.
growing and they put out the spores and
Spores.
like, the
Yeah.
kids weren't affected or like some
Oh,
of
but just
and
the
then
adults. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like, then there's some kids that like they were training them not to eat the people. I don't, it was the whole thing.
Crazy.
And it
Yeah.
came from like things with the spores
Yeah.
and the
Yeah. Why do you think that
I'm gonna
most
look at them
governments
so
have been
different.
like fascinated with airborne illnesses for so long? It's the only thing that's going to take us out. I'm telling you, these
That's
mushrooms
gonna
are
be
playing the
cat
long
videos.
con.
It's gonna be cat videos. Like, how do you take down the country? Cat videos.
Yes. Well, no, that's the thing is that like I just feel like it's one of those things where it's just they've been around forever. They've been on the planet forever. They don't leave fossils because they dissolve. Like it just makes no sense. Like to me, it seems like it's an entity that just doesn't have the highest like if they got
I don't
sentient
know if
all of
I'm
a
gonna be able
sudden,
to eat those now. Like, I'm gonna first I have my husband telling me they come from frogs peeing on them and like don't eat mushrooms because
oh,
frogs pee on them. And then it's like
yeah,
it's a whole thing.
you
And
can
then,
wash them.
and
You can
then
wash them.
now they're gonna take over my mind. Like, how am I supposed to have breakfast?
Well, my thing is that like
What am I gonna
eventually
put in
the
my
planet,
spaghetti?
like we're fucking up this planet so hard that eventually something's gonna take us out. And it wasn't COVID. It's not gonna be like that. It's gonna be like the plants or like the insects. If the insects ever become sentient of us, we're
Oh,
fucked.
no, don't get me started on insects. My gosh.
Do you know how many insects are like how many ants are in an ant hill? Like there's
You're gonna freak
more
me out. Like,
insects.
because I know there's a tiny little ant hill 5 feet away, like from the bottom step of the porch. Like it's right there because the hubby was like, I'm gonna take it out. And so I know they're there. So now they're like, take over my brain too. Like you're gonna have me
Yeah,
so
no.
paranoid by the time we're done.
I'm so
Like
sorry. No,
everything's
I
gonna get
do.
me. Like
Well, it's
the
okay. You'll have me that way when we talk about ghosts.
there
So,
you go. There you go. Oh my
okay.
God.
So that's the thing is like, but my other huge theory, and like this is, I don't know how other people feel about this, but I've read so many articles about how jellyfish are the aliens of the ocean, right? How they're like this totally weird thing that exists in the ocean that's
They
quote
are
unquote
weird.
an animal, but yet isn't.
What is it technically classed as?
Well, I'll give it a Google because there's like thousands of them. There's like tons of categories of jellyfish, right? And
Yeah.
they're like these just like animal things that just exist, and it just makes no sense. Like they're like these large
Oh,
bacterias that just
so
like
yeah, technically they are an animal? Like that doesn't make sense. They're an
right.
animal. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. They do the same thing. They just like have babies, and their babies just their like sperm just kind of like emanates from them, and they just like become other baby jellyfish.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. And then so there's these like if you scroll down our spreadsheet, there's jellyfish that are size of whale, and then there's jellyfish the size of like a thumbnail,
Tiny, tiny, yes.
the tiniest little babies.
No, that's crazy. Oh, that one's
And
the
then
size
there's
of a
some jellyfish,
guy. Like,
yeah,
no, that's
they're
crazy.
huge. There's some in the Mariana Trench that are like these spider looking things. Yeah.
This
And
is why we
some,
don't swim in the
so there's,
ocean.
yeah. Well,
No.
I love the ocean, but yeah. And
Well,
I'm also allergic to jellyfish, which is funny. Um,
like, uh, that's
Yeah.
freaky.
So that's the thing is that they're well, the thing is that I think they're not meant to be on this planet. Like I'm
They're
convinced
aliens
that
that
they
just,
weren't like they fell from a meteor that hit the planet like thousands of years ago or some shit. Because there's also like these jellyfish that are in this lagoon in the Philippines that like don't have
oh, I lost you.
oh, did you
Wait, I
lose me? Oh
lost you for
no.
a second. Oh,
No.
you
Am I
said
back?
there's jellyfish in the Philippines, and then I lost you. Go.
Okay. So the jellyfish in the Philippines that are in this lagoon that don't have stingers because there's no
What?
predator in,
Oh,
yeah,
so
they
they're just
don't
like
have,
happily hanging out, and
yeah, and
like,
they photosynthesize. They just like, they come up to the surface of the water where like the cave entrance has sunlight. They like eat the sunlight and then they like go back down in the bottom of the water.
how do
And they
you
just,
know all these things? Like, how do you know all these things? Like,
well, okay.
people
So my
say
best
I'm
friend
full
is a
of random
biologist.
facts. You have me
no,
beat. Like,
no,
like,
no, this is something I love. Like this is
like,
part of like this is like my true crime part of my brain. Like I love this kind of stuff because to me, like science and animals and stuff, like we know nothing. You know what I mean? Like we
oh
act like we
yeah.
know things, but we know nothing.
Well, it's like you
And
think, how can they still be discovering new species? And it's like,
all
because
the
like
time.
we
All the
don't
time.
know everything. We're not all knowing. Gosh.
No, we can't
And
go
they're gonna
everywhere
hide
the
from
animals
us,
are
you know.
too.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can't go
there's
back.
tons of animals and places that
Yeah.
like we can't even see. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So um the jellyfish that have there's two places actually. There's another one. So there's four different types of. There's these mane jellyfish. Those are the
So
ones
why
that are
am
the
I not
giant ones.
surprised you're interested in the lion's mane jellyfish? No surprise there. Like, is that your spirit animal now? Like, come on. Like,
I do love jellyfish though. So that's the thing is like my best friend's a biologist. She was my biology teacher in high school. Like
oh,
she was like fresh out of college and was like my high school biology teacher. And like we became best friend. I was like her student aide. Like we hung out.
that's
Like and
cool.
now I went to her wedding. Like her husband married me and my husband. Like
Oh,
she's like my
wow.
best friend. Yeah, like she's like my best friend. We'll have her on the podcast at some point. She's amazing.
Okay.
You would love her. And she's into spooky stuff too. And so she loves she's more of like into the octopus are aliens kind of theory
Oh,
where like yeah,
those
yeah,
fuckers are creepy. Okay.
yeah. Well, they're more intelligent than us. They can like see more colors than us.
Oh, they're super
They can
smart.
change their
Yes.
biology.
Yeah.
I mean, they're yeah,
Like
we're like
I've seen them do obstacle courses and like YouTube
yeah,
videos. I did like a whole
yeah.
project
We're
about them
not the
one time
superior.
in school.
Anyone who
It's
thinks
crazy.
we're the superior species is an idiot.
Like the
We're over
hubby
here just
showed me
like
some movie the other day, and it was about like these octopus that like
yeah.
they knew, and then they like killed everybody. Like it was the thing.
No, at this point, yeah. I mean, I'm
It was the
surprised,
thing.
the fact that we could teach some animals sign language and how dogs and cats and stuff can learn our language, but we can't learn theirs. That says more about them than us.
Unless you have one of those apps now that they have where you can like translate cats and dogs. Have you seen those? I want to try them. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
that
saw it
sounds
on. Yeah, I
great,
saw it on
especially because your
TikTok. There's
dog's
one
so
where it's like,
vocal.
yeah, there's one I saw on TikTok the other day, and it was like the cat translator, and it was like you say something, and it says it in in cat. And then the cat responds
Oh,
like,
I
you
know
need
how
to
to
get
talk
that.
to my cat. Oh, we
Oh,
talk all the
oh,
time.
the cats are bitches.
I meow at
Right.
her constantly.
Like you need to get that app and test
I'm
it
gonna
out
get it.
with your cat. Yeah.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Yeah.
I've also seen the videos of the dogs that have like the buttons on the floor and they like go
Oh,
like
I want to
outside
do that.
now.
I
That
only think Ashley would be
kills my
smart enough
heart.
to do it. Like,
How
but
I think it's just a repetition thing, right? You just
yeah.
have to it's
I
just
don't
like
know. I've
any
been
person
trying. They're
learning
they're all
anything.
old. I've been trying for years. They're just I don't know. Drake's just now picking up on stuff, but he's losing his hearing. So now he's like more vocal than he's ever been in his entire life because he's lost his hearing and he's extra loud.
Yeah,
But I would like to
that's
try that with
crazy.
him. Maybe.
That's crazy. But yeah, so that's just my little snippet. If anyone, if you guys want to sound off in the comments and let us know if this is a more deep, if you would rather have a deep
It's
dive conversation
a
about any of these
specific
topics that I
one.
whatever.
Like if we need to
Yeah,
do
I mean, I
research
just
on a
touched on the
specific
ones that I
one.
give a shit about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are just the ones like I care about and like I feel like I've done a lot of research about. Because I don't believe like if you Google the whole Mexican government releasing their mummified alien or whatever, to me it just looks like a poor mummification of a Mayan child or something.
Oh.
It has like alien like what we would call like Hollywood,
Yeah.
Hollywood
I mean, the
depictions of
aliens could look
aliens.
just like us. I mean, come on.
100%.
Or
Or
they
they
could
could
look
be
like
a
all the things on
jellyfish.
Farscape. Oh, now I want to
Right.
watch Farscape. Like, I want to binge watch it. We have all of it on DVD.
Right, right. So, or it would be like Lost in Space, where like everything that's
Oh,
in space is just going to be either like a rock creature or like a android or some sort of like
yeah.
computer or whatever.
Crazy.
Um, but yeah, I could like I said, like I just dive really heavy into like some of the things that I like mixed with, you know, I think there's some it's weird because like science is just made up, right? Like we've just created it, right? Like we've created everything. Words are just words because we've given them meanings. We as a species have evolved to this place where we think we know everything, but yet we literally know
We
like
don't.
nothing.
We
We
don't.
don't.
We don't
We've just made it up, and like luckily enough, we're in that stage of life where like things are easy and chill, and we've got like all this technology, and I
Yeah.
got this beautiful house over me, and like, society as a whole. But some of these conspiracy theories really do make you think that like, what else is going on? Like,
Yeah.
I could just live in my little simulation of like happy go lucky Vicky, but like there could be other things going on and we just not even know. I don't know.
Did you hear the ones about like 5G, like cell service, like before it officially came out, like all the testing of it? Like I
Hmm.
saw this one video where I can't remember where they tested it out, but like they were testing it out and like people in the houses near like the towers where they were putting out the stuff, they were like getting cancer and getting all these things. Birds were just dropping from the sky and like
Yeah.
dead in the parks and
Well, if
like
you
all
think
this kind of
about what
stuff. And
like
I'm like, that's
radio,
scary.
yeah. Well, I mean, have you watched any of the ones about the nuclear plants that they built like mile long island or whatever it is in New York or whatever that
Oh,
was? That one was a crazy conspiracy slash like nuclear plant that had like an explosion and like the thing is that like so much is kept from us.
oh
And
yeah.
maybe we're just like not, you know what I mean? Like, and in a weird way, we need it because, like, if we did know what was going on, like, there would
Oh,
just be mass panic all
oh
the
yeah.
time.
If we knew everything that was going on everywhere, like no, that'd be crazy.
Right. Because after, did you watch Oppenheimer? Did you get to watch Oppenheimer?
I have not seen it yet. No,
I mean, if you didn't believe in like secret government stuff before that,
you
and you
will
saw
after
that movie, and
that.
it's just, they were spending millions of dollars on how to blow something up bigger than another country could. You know what I mean? Like we were
Yeah.
just, their whole towns. I mean, you could still go to that town where they did all the testing and all that stuff, and I mean, like they just bought property. They just like moved people out of their homes to like do all this testing on like the theory that we could make something explode to the point of like
Crazy.
no return. Yeah. And like without no one knew. No one knew.
Yeah. But I mean, no one knows anything until you know. You don't know until you know. Something doesn't
It's
happen
crazy.
until it happens, you know?
Yeah, isn't that insane? But
Oh,
I just find it so crazy. Like, I just find it so crazy that like, and I think that's what's alluring about them, right? That's what's alluring about a conspiracy theory is that
yeah.
like you, oh, is that real? Could that
Is
be
that
real? It's
real?
like drama, right? It's like
Yeah.
got a drama attached to it for some reason. Like we're such these social creatures that like are obsessed with this idea of like, oh, if if the planet is actually flat, even though all the other spheres in the sky are, not flat. But what if we are? Does that mean everyone's been lying to us forever?
Oh, and
Like
the
it's a
moon
big
landing, that didn't happen. That's just like a scene
right,
somewhere.
right,
It's like a
right. And it's
props.
like how far does the rabbit hole go of just
Yeah.
like the government keeping us these ignorant sheep, like pulling it back to the beginning, where we're like,
Crazy.
we are just these creatures that like are being manipulated by this bigger, and that's I think why like it can get kind of dangerous because you can get really it's the same thing as like thinking about the animals that you're eating. It just can kind of make you spiral in a sense.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
trigger warning if like this isn't
Oh,
your
yeah.
vibe, like I get it.
We probably
Yeah.
should. I'm going to take this part and put it at the front of the video. Like trigger warning. We talk about some crazy shit in this video. Like,
Right. I feel like the topic at the description of the video should speak for itself. But like, yeah, I mean, but so many people are obsessed with this idea of like, what do we know? What don't we know? What could be true and what is not true? Because I mean, how
yeah.
many times have you seen? And I think as you get older and the more relationships you have, and being in a real relationship, like in a married relationship, how you perceive that like everyone's reality is different. Like I was
Yeah.
there while you were there and you just described it in a way that's like, unless you're just a person that like over exaggerates everything, like that's not what happened. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
it's really interesting that like everyone's perspective can just be different and that like what really is going on.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's just
Crazy.
so crazy. Do
Crazy.
you like Mandela effects? Do you know about Mandela effects?
No, I don't. I have no idea.
What?
I
I
have
see. I
no idea.
cannot believe you're not into this stuff, Tori. It blows my mind. Okay, so a very popular one was did Mickey Mouse ever have overalls? Like straps that came down
Oh,
onto his little pair of pants?
yeah.
Yeah, you remember that, right? You
Yeah.
remember him having those?
Yeah.
He never had them.
Oh, no, he totally did. No, he
Nope.
totally did. He did.
He absolutely did not.
No, he totally did. No, no, he totally did. Like, Kevin was just showing me this video the other day about,
Google it.
like,
Google it. He
oh no,
never had them.
they've wiped the evidence. Like,
So the conspiracy is there's a million things that people have come up with, like Fruit of the Loom logo. Didn't that used to have like a cornucopia and the
yeah,
fruits like
it
in
did.
it?
Yeah, it did.
Never had a cornucopia.
No, it did.
Never.
No,
Not even once. Not even once.
no,
Not even once.
no, it
Unless
did.
Google is the big conspiracy. Like Google has decided once an image has changed, we're going to delete every other image that ever
I
existed
mean,
of that thing.
could be.
Which I don't know what kind of play that is. I don't know why they would do that, but I'm
It's all a
promising
cover up.
you
It's a cover up.
it's all a cover up. So see,
It's
that's
all
the
a
thing
cover
is
up.
so there's a theory, there's actually multiple theories that the Mandela effect happened when something happened in 2012, right? 2012 when the Mayan calendar
Mhm.
ended or whatever. That was a shift in reality, or that was the moment where our realities collided with a different reality where those things didn't exist and we just remember them existing in the other reality.
Well, that's
Yeah.
crazy. No, no, the
Hmm.
hubby showed me some video the other day, and it was like
Hmm.
it was all about like all these things, like from like our childhood
Your
or something
childhood.
like that, where
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like this did this happen? Did this not? Did it look this way or
Yeah.
whatever? And they
Yeah.
listed out like a bunch of them. I'll see if I can find it. And
Yeah.
it was like, no, that didn't happen. It's like, yeah, no, I remember. And I'm like, no, this says it didn't.
Never
And it's
happened.
no, like I remember there was a scene from this so weird from Aladdin that I
Right.
remember seeing it like
Yeah.
in school. Maybe we watched Aladdin one day, and I remember
Yep.
this one specific scene that had to do with the tiger. And then If you
Right.
watched it now, that scene's not there.
Yeah.
But I
Okay,
remember
so
it being there.
Disney has come out to admit that they have changed things in their movies to their newer versions. Like there's a scene in Leo and Stitch that's the same way. In the original
Oh.
movie, she gets in the dryer. In the new movie on Disney Plus, she gets in a cupboard with a pizza box covering her.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to look that
Is
one
it
up.
kind of
That
like
one's
how
the
the
craziest.
original artwork for The Little Mermaid, like if you find like the very original like VHS, like the little
Yeah.
plastic box cover thing,
Yeah.
like the
Mm-hmm.
castle has penises. Like it has penis
Mm-hmm.
towers, but now it doesn't.
Yep.
They took
So
all
the
that out.
issue with that one was that
Well, I
it was
mean, it's a
supposed to
penis.
look like
Fine.
sand. You ever played with that sand where you pull wet sand up and then you let it dry slowly and it makes like little castles on the beach? Have
Yeah.
you ever done that? That's what it was
Okay.
supposed to look like. And
No, it looked like a penis.
unfortunately, the artist that
No, he put that in there on
started,
purpose. He knew what he was doing. It's the
he knew what
same
he was doing.
reason
Anyways,
the priest has a boner. Like in
yeah,
that
the priestess
scene, he
boner, that's a
has
weird
a
one. That's a
boner.
really weird
It's
one. Well,
there.
Disney used to be really weird. I mean, like
Yeah.
everything was hand drawn and things got, shoved underneath the
Oh, they
rug and
just
stuff
wanted
like
to see
that.
how many things they could sneak in. But some of the stuff I've seen people be like, "Oh, well, like when he like lays down on the cliff and the things go up, it says sex." I'm like, "No, it doesn't."
Yeah, there's some
Like,
they're overreaching, but then there's
yeah,
ones where it's like the priest, it's like, oh
he
no,
totally has a boner.
that's legit.
Like it's
Yeah,
there. It's like you see it.
it's
It's
real.
there.
Yeah.
It's
So there's
very
another big one.
obvious.
Disney has a bunch. Disney has a bunch. So what's what the evil queen says to the mirror? Do you know what that quote is?
Well, I don't know. I feel like this is a trick question. Like I'm going to be wrong. Like what is it?
I mean, you're
I'm,
probably gonna be
what is it?
wrong.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like the mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Yeah.
Right. It's specifically like mirror, mirror. Like she says it twice, like
Oh, she says
weirdly,
it.
right?
Yeah.
She never said that.
Yes, she does.
She says magic mirror on the wall.
No, she doesn't. Don't go
Yes,
twisting my memories. No, she doesn't. Nope.
I'm just
Nope. Nope. Do not
I'm
accept that
just telling
reality.
you how are you a big George
Nope.
Michaels fan? Are you a big George Michael? Do you like,
Um,
my achy breaky heart? Like that song?
wait, no, that's
Who's that? Not George Michael? Who's that?
no, that's Miley
Oh,
Cyrus's
that's what's
dad.
his
Why
name?
can
That's
I not
Miley
think of
Cyrus's dad. Is that
yeah,
Miley Cyrus's dad?
yeah. Like why is his name gone in my head? What's his name? Billy Ray Cyrus? Is that it?
There you go. You got it.
Okay. That
You
was the
got it.
thing. Like what like I hate that we're at this place where we're like Miley Cyrus's dad. But like I
I know.
totally grew up on that song.
Right. Right.
Like that makes no sense. Like what? Wow.
So, but it was very like, don't break my heart, right?
Are you about to tell me the lyrics are wrong? Like what are you doing to me in this episode right now? Like
This is why
my world
conspiracies
is
become
shattering here. Okay, the jellyfish are out to get me. My mushrooms are going to come alive and take over my brain. Like I don't remember songs. Like what is happening today?
Yeah, he says, "Don't tell my heart" is the lyric of the song.
Okay, maybe. I'll give you
Well,
that.
my face, those kind of like that's because like the way it actually is, I've definitely sang songs wrong, thinking I knew the lyrics without
Oh,
reading the lyrics.
those are great. I
Right.
love seeing those videos where like they put the words up of what
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
hear it
Yeah. Yeah.
as,
That's just
and
because,
then you can't
oh,
unhear
yeah.
it. You
Yeah. You just
cannot
hear it that way
unhear
every
it
time. Yeah.
forever.
There's
And
one, there's like
there's
a
some that's
song,
great.
I think it's Sia.
Oh, well,
The,
you can only understand half of her stuff, but I love her songs.
right. Love her stuff. But there's
Like
one where she talks about being a Ferrari or something.
her,
I'm Unstoppable. I think that one is what it's
love that
called.
song.
Right. Right. I didn't know half of the lyrics until I looked them up.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
was
have
singing
to
like
like.
gibberish. Like
Oh
I,
yeah. Like it doesn't like so convinced that that's what it says, and then you look on
yeah,
Spotify at the lyrics and you're like, what? What does that mean? Like
yeah, that's
that's not
what
what I've
she's
been
saying.
singing for years.
Yeah, I think it's like something about I need no batteries to play. And I used to say something, I don't even remember what I used to say, but it wasn't that.
It wasn't
It
that.
was not that. Wasn't
I
there? But
love
yeah, that's
misheard
a
lyrics. Those are great.
yeah, so good. So
Love
good. But
that.
yeah, I mean, that's just like I said, that's like my personality in a nutshell is like everything we talked about today. I'm just, playing around. I'm just joking. I'm not that serious about a lot of this, but some people get like really, like
Oh,
really,
really
really
into it.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not like convinced of any of them really.
Now, if
I
you
mean, I
come
could
on
get
here with like the tinfoil hat, I'm going to be concerned. Okay.
well, no, and I do think that
Might
I
have to
do
step in
believe
then.
yeah, thank you. I would appreciate that. Because I'm crazy, but I don't want to be that crazy.
Yeah.
I know there are some that I mean, there is some more serious, like not so lighthearted stuff that I could get like really into about like
Yeah.
established government and established religion and like power struggles and dynamics and how, because I did a deep dive for a really long time about like how we developed to being this democracy and like how democracy like even became an idea and then like how socialism started why the idea of capitalism mixed with the idea of like communism, like people were like so afraid of communism, but there was like a big conspiracy that it really wasn't as big of a deal as everyone was making it out to be. And it just I have like so many deep dives of stuff like that, but that's not as fun and lighthearted. That's like some
Yeah, it's a
serious
little
like
more serious. Yeah.
yeah, I'm a little like sad and
It's
like
not
what is
really happy morning coffee talk, you know?
no, 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 no. So I was like, let's talk about how aliens are
Yeah, the
jellyfish.
mushrooms
Well,
are
'cause
going to take over our brains. Let's talk about that.
oh no, the mushrooms are taking over.
Oh
If I
gosh.
will die, I will die happy when I am getting like killed by a jelly. I mean, I'm telling you, these mushrooms
Death
are
of my
going.
dreams. Like what?
Well, we're gonna go into like a hallucinating state, and they're just gonna let us die slowly. Like I'm
You're
convinced that
cool with that. It's like,
yeah,
oh, okay.
and I will be like, I fucking told you so. Like
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay. All
because
right.
I just it just doesn't make any sense why we would continue to eat them. Like
Oh my
and like I
gosh.
mean yeah, they taste good. Like I like mushrooms, like don't get me
I was
wrong.
gonna
But
say, do
like
you eat mushrooms at all? Like,
what's weird is I after I started really doing deep dives, like because people are doing this like micro dosing of eating the really crazy ones that make you
yeah.
insane, but apparently is also good for you if you do it in small doses and it like
Yeah.
helps you get clarity and helps with, mental disorders and like being bipolar and like it's a natural way of taking medicine. And I'm like,
I don't know. I mean, I'll
I'm
just stick
like,
to the mushrooms in my spaghetti and my eggs and things like that.
right. I
Yeah.
know. I mean, like yeah, especially the lion's. So that's the thing is there's a lion's mane
Mushroom.
mushroom
Yeah.
and there's a lion's
And
mane jellyfish.
the
Okay.
the thing.
Well, and then this is the other thing is that coral, right? Like coral.
Yeah.
Coral is pretty much mushrooms, but just in the ocean.
I mean, that makes sense. I can see that.
Some
Yeah.
coral, not all coral, but like some
Yeah.
coral is because they do the same thing. They just like they photosynthesize, they release their babies out into the ocean and they just kind of like swim off and they just like attach to a rock and then all of a sudden there's a coral there. Uh, but they like it's crazy. It's so crazy. They like convince fish to live in them to protect them but then also to bring them food. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, unless like, I mean, I guess a more religious person would be like, yes, God's beautiful
Yeah, I was
creatures.
gonna say like that you could go with well, someone seemed to have a plan, you know? Like
Or to me, I'm like, no, they're fucking coming for us. We're fucking up their planet. I'm telling you, if the coral, we're just killing it left and right, man. We're taking over its ocean. We're ruining the ocean. We're ruining the air quality of this planet. And eventually the mushrooms are gonna be like,
it's
fucking, we're
gonna
sick of
rise
this
up
shit.
against us.
Yes. And like once again, like someone else thought of it and just like, well, this would be a really good book idea. And then wrote
I was
a,
fixing to say,
you
is
know,
there a movie on the sci-fi channel about this?
no, but so the video game The Last of Us was created by this guy who watched the documentary about the mushrooms who control the ants and stuff.
Oh,
Um,
that's
and that's what got him thinking about this is real science that if they could control us, we would be fucked. And that's how he created the idea of his apocalyptic.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's very crazy. We are, I mean, it is, I mean, like I said, I'm a little crazy because I think this stuff's fun. Um, but I mean, if you guys also think this is fun and crazy, let us know. Like I said,
Yeah.
like this is just a little deep dive into my insanity, and
Yeah. And
hopefully
if you
I
have
teeter on
something
the
that
other
we
side.
need to like
I
get
can't believe
into,
you've
yeah.
never even, I mean, the fact that you got one video of that Mandela effect stuff and you didn't just deep dive into Mandela effects makes me
I
like,
mean,
how did you
I've
not get consumed with
heard
that?
the phrase, I've heard that, but I've never like
Yeah.
deep dived into any of that. But now I
I
might
mean,
have
I don't want to send you on an existential crisis or anything, but I'm
to.
telling you.
I don't have time for a crisis. Had one of those on Monday. I don't need another one. Damn.
Oh my God, I literally
Like,
should have sent you this video the other day where this little girl is pretending to be like an adult, right? And she's like, man, I'm just slammed at work. Really wish I could just stop everything and go on a cruise. She's like sitting there with like a little fake
oh
kid
my
like
God.
laptop, right? And she's just like
That's
she just has the attitude of
hilarious.
just like a grown ass adult. And she's just like,
That's so funny.
it was so fun. It literally made me think of you
Oh
because I'm like,
my
that's literally me where I'm just like, I'm just gonna drop everything and go on a cruise next week.
That's funny. Well, I mean, you see, that's my
I
quarter
see
three
your quarter
break
break right there.
marked. And then
Well, see,
there's
that's the
another
thing is
one
like
over there. Over
I
there.
can't relax until I have like no internet or like not I have
I,
no access to like
oh,
an
that would
email.
give me anxiety at this point.
It's weird. It almost have we talked about this before? I feel
A
like
little
we've
bit.
talked about this before,
Yeah.
maybe, but like it's one of those things where like this consumes me. Like I check my email 24/7. I'm looking at my Facebook
I mean,
messages.
my
I'm looking at
email's
my
right there.
Instagram constantly. So like, but once I can't physically do it, and I know I put parameters up where I'm like, hey, I'm out of town. Like, I'll get back to you at this date. Like, if you're
Yeah.
trying to reach out to me, like whatever. I always text every single one of my brides being like, hey, I'm gonna be out of town. So if you call me or text me, like I will get back to you as soon as I'm back in town. Um, but yeah, I can't really like get off my high horse like without being like camping in the middle of nowhere where I have no cell service or like on a boat where I don't have the
Maybe,
internet and
maybe
like
that's what we should do for our break. Camp in
yeah,
the
we're
yard.
going camping on October 1st. Yeah.
I'm not going some crazy place. I'll camp in the yard. I'll do that.
Well, yeah, I mean you can house. Yeah, you got a beautiful home with a piece of
We've got all
property.
this land. We'll just camp behind the house and,
Yeah. Make a
maybe we
little
should do that.
campfire.
The hubby was showing me videos of like these inflatable tents that he found. Have you seen
Yes.
those?
Yes. We have
I was
like one
like,
of those
I will
10
go
people tents.
glamping. Yeah, but
Yeah,
not
glamping.
regular. I'm not roughing
They
anything.
the ones with the screens and you can like watch a movie out in the yard. You should get one of those for sure.
Uh,
Especially with this beautiful weather you're having.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be our
Yeah.
plan. I'm gonna start
Yeah.
hitting up
All right. Well,
Amazon for tents.
I don't know. So guys, if you haven't seen already, the past few videos, we've been kind of cutting them down to like about 30 minutes. We're going to see if that works out. Let us know what you think. It was just one of those things where we're just trying it out, see how you guys like it. We
Yep.
talk way too
A
much,
lot.
a lot,
A
but
lot.
that's not a bad thing. I mean,
No.
that's what you're here to listen to a podcast. You're not here
Yeah.
to just like listen to people like not talk to each other, but
That would be
um
weird.
we're trying to maybe, I mean, this sounds like it was another 40-minute episode already, but like,
Probably. Probably. It's hard to just stop. Like maybe I need to like hit up Amazon and get me one of those cute little desk timers with
uh-huh.
like the big numbers
Yeah.
and be like, hold it up. Like we've been up here this long. Like set a timer. Like, oh, we're counting down. We're running out of time. Maybe we should
Sometimes we
have
just have
left
so
the
much to talk
Zoom.
about.
Maybe we should have left Zoom with like the free one so it would cut us off at a certain
Oh, right. That is what was stopping us from talking so long when we used to
yeah.
just talk, is that the Zoom would be like, you're out of time. And we're
Yeah,
like,
and then
no,
we'd have to
I'll call
start
you
it
back. I'll
three
call you back.
times. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's a ghost. There's my husband. We have not been talking for a very long time. It has not been 2 hours. Do not do that to me. I will have a crisis. Okay. Well, it was wonderful.
hmm
And are you gonna dance? Oh, I was like, is he gonna dance? Because we're gonna cut that. Oh, here we go. Stop it.
Love that.
Um, but we'll call it here. We'll call it here. Like I said,
Yeah.
guys, I would love to have submissions of anyone's, comment down below if you love conspiracies or if this is something you'd rather us do more of a deep dive on. I would
Mhm.
love to do like a spooky spread. How cool would that be? Doing like a spooky
Yeah.
slash like conspiracy journal. Oh my God, that would be so cool.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
do like a little spread of all the things we talked about. I love when you do your little spreads. I feel like we need to like somehow incorporate that into the podcast because it
Yes.
was just so fun and relaxing watching you like do it today.
Yeah. It was fun. It was
Yeah.
fun. I like
Super
it.
fun. Super fun. All right. Well, guys, all of our social medias will be down in the description
Mhm.
below, and we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.